This horse is 7 years old. He's what we call him Fox Hunter. He hasn't won 600 pounds yet. He's very, very sharp. He's frightened to death of other horses coming at him. So that's why I've got red ribbons everywhere. That's hopefully will keep all my fellow competitors away from me in the collecting ring. But it doesn't seem to work. I think they just think I'm turning gay or something. I'm going to start off this evening and just show you a few of the insights into show jumping. You're going to be watching the Grand Prix after. It's not just a matter of standing in the middle of the ring and saying, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got to know exactly how many strides, especially indoors, how many strides we're going to put between each fence. And we have to have control of our horses. When we start off with the horses, they're athletes. We've got to get them nice, relaxed, supple. Once we've got them supple, then they can use themselves. Don't just put them there. If they think I'm jumping that, they're mad. I'll only jump that if Nick Brookswood sits in the middle one. And there's one problem, we need a bigger bin.
I don't yeah, I wouldn't fit in that, Billy Gate. I've had a sparring battle with this man for 40 years. I'm not sitting in there, Billington, because I know how badly you can jump sometimes. I think perhaps you ought to tell them about the Horse of the Year show one Sunday morning, don't you?
Go on then.
Jeffrey had won big on the Saturday night, and it was a big international jumping class on Sunday morning. But Jeffrey, he likes to study the form through the night. And well, we've been up quite late. In fact, Geoff hadn't been to bed. And he came in.
No, you're missing something out. There's something that I haven't told you, Nick.
What?
Well, at the Horse of the Year show, when we used to stay in the lorries down near the stables, I woke up and I heard them saying, yeah. Geoff Billington, there's 8 to go.
Yeah, I remember
and I thought, oh, hell. But then I looked down, I'd got my boots, my jumpers, and my red coat still on from the night before. So I thought, that's a stroke of luck.
So he came in, and I kid you not, he jumped every oxer backwards. The judges couldn't believe it. True, Jeffrey, isn't it? He didn't win the class.
I jumped clear.
He did jump clear. The judges hadn't got a clue what to make of it.
Anyhow, show jumping's all about rhythm and balance. What I'm doing with this young horse now, I'm not going to call it dressage. I don't know what dressage is. I'm not really the right shape to be a dressage rider. I've got all the ingredients to be 6'3" and thin. I just need rolling out. But I've got to get the horse so he'll go forwards, come back to me, and turn whenever I want. If I go down a line of fences and he misunderstands me for one stride, I can be out of sync with him when we get to the next fence. And in that case, I have a perfect stride, but the fence is in the wrong place. Now, what I'm doing with him at the moment is just letting him pick his way through these poles. I'm not looking down. This is how things that we would do with the young horses. It's up to the horse to look where his legs are. If he trips over that pole and falls on his face, he should look where he's going next time. But I don't think this one will do that. He's so careful. In fact, he's as careful as a nudist over a barbed wire fence. Ouch, just think about it. He could finish up like Haley. So, I'm very pleased with him at the moment. What I'm trying to do is just try and keep his head down and his back end coming up underneath him. If I have him in a nice round shape, then when I get to the jump, his back legs are underneath him and he's got something to spring off. I'll just let him trot down the poles once more, We don't want him to rush. That's good. Can you make those into canter poles now, please? Somebody? Sarah? Canter poles? Okay, so I'm going to have a canter. Oh. Now I'll just canter through the middle. It's important that we can get the horses to change legs. So I'm going to try. That's good. That's a good flying change, I think. Well, I don't know if it's a good one, but he did one. And try one the other way. That's good. In the olden days, I'll just tell you a bit of my life story. My parents were nothing to do with horses. When I was 9 years old, I started watching Horse of the Year show on the television. And I watched Harvey Smith and David Broom, and for some reason I took a liking to it. When I was 10 years old, I went down to the local riding school, and I saw all the pretty girls. And I really liked it. We put an advert in the local paper, the Accrington Observer, and it said 10 children saving up to buy a pony. And a man rang up, he'd bought his children a 3-year-old Welsh mountain pony as a surprise, and it was a bad surprise because they didn't like it. They didn't like horses. So he rang up and he said, if you give £10 to charity, we will give you a pony. So me and 9 girls all gave £1, and we finished up with the pony. Luckily, after a few weeks, all the girls got boyfriends, and I finished up with the pony. So there, already, we're starting to get the horse into a rhythm. We need to be able to move him forward, off a leg. We need to ask him to come back. These are exercises that we'll practice when we're in the warm-up. Move forward and come back. If you can see there, when I'm asking him to come back, I'm leaning back. If I can get him to understand that, it's a lot easier than wrapping the reins 3 times round my hand and smacking him in the back teeth. So now he's just starting to listen, really good. He's looking at the flowers in the corner. That's good. Now I feel like I'm ready to jump. This is what I will be doing outside with my best horses in the collecting ring later on. Warm them up on the flat. We'll always start with a cross pole. So we've got the cross pole here. Come on, son, come on. Come on, Casper. This horse's name in the ring is Conman, but his nickname is Casper. We've got nicknames for all of them. That's good. All the time, he's a little bit sharp, this horse, so all the time I'll just keep stopping him, asking him to come back, making sure I've got control. Keep him bouncing underneath me, like a rubber ball. Bounce, bounce, bounce. There I'm asking him to land on his left leg. Now I'm going to come back, and I'm going to ask him to land on his right leg. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to slightly get hold of my right rein over the fence, look in the direction where I'm going, keep my body upright, and drop my left leg back behind the girth. And hopefully, there he landed on his right leg. From there, we'll go on, and I'll jump a vertical fence. So I'll come to the purple one over there. What people think is when the fences get bigger, they think they've got to go faster. As long as you've got the rhythm, keep your horse bouncing underneath you like a rubber ball. It doesn't matter whether the fence is 2 foot high, 4 foot high, or 6 foot high. we don't have to go any faster. There's only one difference. When the fence is 6 foot high and you get 2 strides away from it, your bum starts to twitch like a bunny rabbit's nose. But you've got to ignore that, because if we get tense, the horse gets tense. And you cannot put pressure on top of tension. That's good. Whoa, stop him again. Whoa. People ask me, who do you train with? Who did you train with? I've been very lucky. I've grown up with John and Michael Whittaker, Nick Skelton. So we've all known each other and we've all sorted out problems. People always thought me and John were 2 alcoholics. We stayed in every bar around the world till it closed. But we were sorting things out, discussing horses. John wouldn't say a lot. What do you think to that bit, John? Good. You think my horse jumped well? All right. Do you want another beer? Yeah. So I'm going to just pop over the vertical again. And then down the far side, we've got the 2 verticals with 4 strides in between, I think. That's what I asked for. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Whoa, stop. That is the perfect normal stride. When we're walking distances, we do it by counting in 4s. Every 4 strides that we take is 1 horse stride. So if we're walking down that distance, from fence to fence, it would be 16 strides. The horse lands 2 strides away from the fence, and he takes off 2 strides away from the second fence. So, no, it walked 20, wouldn't it? That's why I ride horses, because I'm thick. It's not 16, it's 20. So I'll just come this way. Terrible thing, this Alzheimer's. Now, when we're in training, we will do little exercises. That's good because everything's coming perfect. But we do get into situations in the ring where you get into a situation that you don't want to be, and you have to go on to plan B quick. So although we know that it's 5 strides down from one fence to another, the horse might land or trip, and you've got to have a quick readjustment. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and make him take 5 strides instead of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to go back and try and ask him to make 6. So what I'm doing, I'm getting close to the first part, so he lands a bit steep, and then I'm going to get my weight back straight away as soon as I land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can clap if you want. We've also got to open the stride up. So I'm not going to do it with him because I don't want to confuse him. With the older horses, I would turn round, open the stride up, and go down there on 3 strides. So that's what we do in straight lines. We've got here what we call a dog leg. So if you look at the blue fence coming out of the corner, it's on a bend. It's called a dog leg because if you look at a dog's back leg, it bends at its hock. The way that we do this, the way we ride this, we ride in a straight line. We have our eye on the next fence. We won't go directly straight. We'll ride forward here, and then when we get straight for that fence, then we'll go on to that one. What you've got to remember, try and keep your horse nice and relaxed, but working underneath you. I'm not sure how many strides he's made this, but we'll soon find out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See, those are things that you've got to account for in a ring. I was getting ready to jump that fence, and he started to spook at the flowers in the corner. I stopped him that time. When I'm in competition, I can't stop him. So what I've got to do is go on to plan B quickly, somehow get him to come past the flowers. Come on, son, come on, come on, come on. Don't lose the concentration. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. I'm going to carry on round the corner to the double now, so already start looking where the double is, so I can get straight for it. That's good. And then I'm going to come 4 strides back down the ring. One, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Oh, oh, thank you. Back to the life story. So, I've got this little 12-2 pony, or 11-2. I'm 10 years old, and I'm watching Harvey Smith and David Broom on television. I want to be a show jumper. I've decided. So what I start to do is make some fences with brush steels across buckets, and we start jumping. When I was 11 years old, we started going to our first shows. And when I was 12 years old, we went to a show, and there was a young kid from Yorkshire that had a snotty nose, dirty jumpers, never washed his face, and never smiled. That was John Whittaker. The funny thing was, we grew up from then on together, 12 years old, and we competed in ponies together, young riders. When we were in Young Riders, we had a rule. We didn't have any grooms, we had to do our own horses. And we could both plait them, pull manes, clip, we could do everything. But we had a rule. Whoever lost the day before had to plait the other one's ponies up, or horses. And I can tell you, I became a very, very good platter. He's still beating me now, all these years later. We've had a fantastic life. We've been all around the world, I don't know how many times. And the best thing about John Whittaker is he never ever changes. It doesn't matter whether he's won £50,000 or lost £50,000, you can't tell. The only thing that he never does, whether he's won or lost, is buy a drink. Can we have some fences bigger, lads, please? Can you put the 2 verticals bigger, the double? I'm just going to jump a little. Do you think a horse could possibly jump those feed bins, Nick?
I think it definitely could jump those feed bins, Geoff. I really do. But not with me inside one of them. Geoff, just one question for you.
Go on.
Why do you think, after 1984, and it took 28 years for us to win another Olympic medal, why do you think that we are the world's top nation in show jumping now?
I think it's very good management. Rob Herkstra has come in. He's pulled the team together. He's got discipline. But he's also rallied round and got some really good owners to buy some top horses which cost a lot of money, and they want to own the horses rather than make profit on them.
Yeah.
In the olden days, it was easy to get some owners and they enjoyed going round and watching the horses. But there came a time when the horses become so expensive, you can get people to buy horses, but then when you get offered a big lump of profit, they want to sell them and make money. And it's needs must. Unfortunately, we live in a rich man's sport. And it's like this horse. I think this horse is a super horse. It's my own. I will produce it to a level, and if I can't find anybody to buy it, I'll sell him. That's the nature of the business.
Well, you've got to live, haven't you?
You've got to live.
Got to live.
Okay,
Right then, Jeffrey.
So,
They've got bigger now.
Oh, flipping heck. Right, I'm not going to do anything different. So, That's good. Round the corner, 4 strides again. All the time thinking about keeping the control. Whoa. Whoa. Do a detour, change legs. Whoop. That's fabulous. That is really, really good. I think you're really seeing a superstar horse in the making here. It's going to take a little bit of time because, as I told you, he's frightened to death of other horses in the collecting ring. And where I've got him nice and relaxing here tonight, in competition when there's 20 horses out there warming up, it's really difficult to get him as relaxed as he is tonight. So he comes in the ring, he's a little bit tense, and he makes a mistake because he's looking at everything except the fences. He'll be a lot better horse when he goes outside because we'll have more space and the things won't be on top of him like the crowd and the flowers and everything else. I just want to go and swap horses a minute now. I think this one's done enough.
I think you need to jump those bins. But Geoff, just so we know, he's 7. What are your plans now? Just fox hunters and first rounds all the way through?
I'll jump him in fox hunters and B&Cs now, 130s. I've jumped a couple of 135s with him. But it's good to have a 3-day show like Bury Farm. You know, Alan here does a fantastic job on giving us, the competitors, the facilities to come here and train our horses. It's fantastic for Chestnut Horse Feeds to come in and sponsor the evening. Chestnut Horse Feeds, I got to know 3 years ago. They sponsor me. It's a fantastic feed. All my horses are wonderfully well on it. They've got different sorts. As you can see, he's sharp. Most of my best ones are sharp, so we've got Alpha Easy that we feed them. They look well. They've got fantastic condition on the coat. They come in these bins here that Nick's saying I can't jump. I'm going to go out, have a Jimmy Riddle, swap horses, come in, and I'm going to jump.
Hang on a second. Before you do go out, how high was that puissance wall at Olympia without a saddle?
6'10".
6'10" without a saddle.
But that was in my younger days.
What did you say afterwards?
That was easy!
He's a lovely man. Right then, Geoffrey, money where your mouth is. This is Cruise Control. This is one of Geoff's stars.
Do you think we could? It's not possible to jump those feed bins.
It's not possible, but you're crazy enough to do it.
Do you think we can jump it?
And for those of you who are sitting quite close to it, you could be meeting Geoffrey Billington.
You do realise if this horse stops and I go head first into that bin.
We'll shut the lid and push it out, it's not a problem. Yeah.
My bum will be cocked in there and you'll have somewhere to plant your flowers. There's at least spooking at it. Do you really think he can jump it?
I'm sure you can jump the Chestnut
Can he
horse
jump
feed
the
thing.
fence?
Geoffrey, listen mate, you've jumped the Devil's Dyke, you've jumped the Derby Rails, you've jumped the Palisades, you've jumped Ark and you've jumped Spruce Meadows.
Nick, I'll just tell you a little secret.
What?
There's big money for those. When there's no money involved, I'm chicken. I only do it because I'm skint. Right, well, we'll have to have a little bit of a competition. The louder you cheer, the higher we go. That is not loud enough for me to jump those bins. Yeah, I'll jump a fence.
3, 2, 1, cheer!
Think that was loud enough, Nick?
No, that wasn't loud enough. I think you can do better. 1, 2, 3! Now, Big Ed.
All right, let's see what happens. Don't forget, keep you cool.
Collect his autograph on the way out.
Collect his body.
Geoffrey Billington.
Yes! Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a superstar, not just in British show jumping, but in world show jumping. Let's give it up for Geoffrey Billington.